Hi there, it's me, and Annalisa Boyd. Oh my goodness. Orthodox Christian wife, mom to 10, bread baker, candy maker, self proclaimed doula, accidental midwife, and the author of The Ascetic Lives of Mothers. Hear me and Special Agents of Christ. I'm doing another little quote, and I think it's a really good one. So it is: in the end times, man will be saved by love, humbleness, and kindness. Kindness will open the gates of heaven. Humbleness will lead him into heaven. A man whose heart is filled with love will see God. And that's Saint Gabriel of Georgia. Now, I love this quote because I feel like as a parent, I have missed that mark so many times, that humility and love within my family, within my family unit. I think it's a lot easier for most of us to show love and kindness and humility when we are with other people, but sometimes it can get tricky when we are with our families. And especially if we were not raised with that in our own families when we were growing up, or for me, there was a lot that was implied by the church also. And it's funny, I didn't grow up Orthodox. I was raised in the Protestant church, and there was so much, after becoming Orthodox, there were people who would tell me, well, Orthodoxy, they believe in good works and that you're saved by works. And I honestly got that message so much more when I was Protestant. And so it was really relieving when we became Orthodox, that it was not all up to me, that it was the work of the Holy Spirit. And unfortunately, I that impacted my parenting, and then being part of the homeschool movement during the late 90s and through the 2000s. Well, forever we're still homeschooling. But that earlier movement, there was a lot more about, yes, loving people outside your home, but your children and your family, you had this way higher standard and these expectations, and it was much more about obedience and works, and it was pretty crazy. And so as I've continued on this parenting journey and still have a 6 and 8 and 2 12-year-olds at home, how I parent them is so different. And it's so sad to me that I missed out on so many great opportunities to parent with more love and more kindness and more humility. And I know that's had some impacts on my older kids. And I think that's a thing that a lot of us parents look back at and wish we had done differently. And I just happen to have the opportunity to apologize to my older ones and do things differently with my younger ones, because there's such a huge age gap. But within our homes, we can practice love and humility and kindness. And that still doesn't mean, let the children walk all over you or your spouse or anybody else, but it does mean that we are trying to train our hearts to, and our spiritual minds to see everyone as wonderful, beautiful gifts from God. Even the people that we have to have clear boundaries with, they are still wonderful, beautiful gifts from God. And they are people that we can show kindness to and be humble. Because sometimes I think we can look at other people in our own family and think, well, I don't do, and be so judgmental, very forgiving of other people, but so judgmental of the people who are closest to us. And so I think it's a real blessing to learn how to stop doing that and see everyone the same way that we see, when our heartstrings are tugged by, the starving children in Africa or something like that. That needs to be, our heartstrings need to be pulled for all mankind, all humankind. And it starts in our home. It starts with our own people, being able to see them. And it's hard because, everybody else is, it's all removed. And so we can have our heartstrings pulled or feel blessed to serve somebody else, but in our own home, it's day after day, often without recognition or appreciation, and it can be exhausting. But God can still help us to have that kindness and show that love that is His love, and practice humility as He practiced humility to the very people who were going to betray Him. He healed them. He loved them. He worked miracles for them. He walked on water for them. All these things, and He was betrayed. So God has a bit of understanding of what it's like. So anyway, we can bring this into our homes and with everyone we meet, practicing kindness and humility. What did He say? Yeah, love, humbleness or humility, and kindness will lead us to Christ. So anyway, I went over, but it's less than 10 minutes. I hope that counts for something. Let's keep working out our salvation one mama moment at a time. I am going to read it again just because I think it's cool. In the end times, man will be saved by love, humbleness, and kindness. Kindness will open the gates of heaven. Humbleness will lead him into heaven. A man whose heart is filled with love will see God. St. Gabriel of Georgia. Let us go to the eye doctor, which is Christ, so that we can see God. All right. Have a blessed day.